Exactly how much clearer do you want me to be?
That makes me so livid I could cry. That disgusting human being who happens to be the Mayor of London, who also happens to hold the title of the Police and Crime Commissioner as part of...
I've just spelt it out. Are you not listening? It's the sort of gangs that groom young girls at a young age for money from lots of... And can you stop interrupting? It's very rude.
Can I?
I think that you get a lot...
It started like any other political chat on national television, polite introductions, a few jokes, and the usual campaign chatter. But within minutes, everything changed. Danny Dyer, the straight-talking East End actor who never minces his words, had clearly reached his limit. The cameras were rolling, the studio lights blazing, and Britain was about to witness one of the most shocking political showdowns in years. Across the table sat Labour leader Keir Starmer and Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves, ready to sell their latest campaign message. But they weren't ready for what Dyer brought to the table. Not spin, not fluff, but raw, uncomfortable truth. From the very first question, the atmosphere shifted. His tone sharp. Dyer leaned in.
Faux outrage and hypocrisy has been once again exposed.
Just one further question on Palestine Action. You're a human rights lawyer in a former life. Is the government wrong to be ordering the arrest of pensioners simply for holding up placards?
Look, I've got a huge sympathy for those protesting about what's happening in Gaza and trying to bring that to the attention of people.
His eyes locked on Starmer. Do you lot even know what normal people are going through out there? The studio went dead silent. Starmer started his usual calm, calculated response, but Dyer cut straight through it like a knife. You're up there talking about policy papers while families can't afford heating. What planet are you living on, mate? It wasn't an interview anymore, it was an ambush, and the audience could feel it. Reeves shifted in her seat as the tension grew thick enough to cut with a knife. Starmer tried to steady himself, replying, "We're focused on real change." But Dyer didn't flinch. "Real change? You've been saying that for years," he fired back. "Every time you lot get close to power, you forget where you came from." The line hit hard. For once, the political mask cracked, and Starmer's frustration showed. Reeves stepped in, talking about Labour's economic plan, but Dyer wasn't done. "Your plan doesn't feed people, love. It's just words on paper." The audience gasped. The moment went from awkward to electric. No one in that room, or watching from home, could believe what they were seeing. What made it even more powerful was Dyer's authenticity. He wasn't quoting numbers or waving reports, he was talking about real people. "You talk about inflation like it's just a number," he said, his voice firm. "But that number is why people are skipping meals." It wasn't a politician's soundbite, it was a gut punch of reality, and it hit home. You could see Starmer struggling to find footing against a man who didn't care about political games, a man speaking from lived experience. For once, politics met the street, and the street was winning. Then came the knockout blow, the moment that sent the internet into meltdown. Dyer looked Starmer dead in the eye and asked, "Tell me one thing you've done personally that's made life better for working-class people." The silence that followed was deafening. Starmer hesitated, his face tightening as he searched for an answer. Reeves tried to step in, but Dyer raised his hand. "No, no. Let him answer." The crowd erupted, cheers, gasps, disbelief. It was a rare moment of truth on live TV, and everyone watching knew they were witnessing something big. When Starmer finally spoke, his voice cracked slightly. "We're building towards a fairer Britain," he said, but the words fell flat. Dyer leaned back, shaking his head. "You can't build fairness with speeches," he said quietly. "You build it by standing with people when it's hard." That single line spread like wildfire across social media. TikTok, X, YouTube, everywhere.